The scan that we were working on previously has completed at this point, and you can see that we've got the site listing, we've got 2 assets, we've got 59 vulnerabilities, and you can see when it completed. Now we've got some nice little charts and graphs. Those are really nice and handy to have. What I really want to do now, though, is I want to go to the Vulnerabilities tab over here and see what we've got for vulnerabilities. Now, one of the nice things about Nexpose is Nexpose will tell you whether it's vulnerable and what it may be vulnerable to. So you can see there's a column here to indicate whether it's susceptible to malware attacks, and you can see whether there's an exploit that's been published, and it will indicate where it's been published to. So if I were to click on that, you can see that we've got a vulnerability that's in the exploit database, and I can click on that, it will pop it open. So here's the exploit that's available for this particular vulnerability. So I've got a way of exploiting this vulnerability right here, this MS10-012. So we've got some other ones here. This indicates that it's Metasploit exploitable. Now, one of the nice things about Nexpose is, since Nexpose and Metasploit come from the same company, Rapid7, you can actually integrate the two of them so that you could use Nexpose as a way to launch Metasploit and actually trigger this particular exploit. As it is, we can find out what the exploit is. We can find out the module. If I were to click on this, it will take me right to the module and give me information about it. You can see that the module that we would use would be MS09_001_right. So I could use that module and I could exploit that vulnerability. And it even shows me right here how to go about using that particular exploit. So I've got a lot of information here in Nexpose that's going to give me some pointers on where I could go next. Now, there are some findings here that we've got. For example, the SNMP community name is public. There's really no exploit there. That's just the way that the application SNMP is configured. It's configured in an insecure fashion, and it's got a well-known community name, meaning there's not an exploit. We would just have to run an SNMP client against this particular server and find out what information that we've got available. So there's a number of other ones here as well, and we could go skimming through them, but what I really want to do is kind of focus on these going forward, because I know I could actually exploit these using Metasploit. So when we start looking at Metasploit, we'll look at using these particular modules against these systems and actually do some exploitation using Metasploit and see where we can go getting into these particular systems.